Welcome to the Carriker Chronicles, the People Show. Check the Post Rescue Nation, brought to you by Nebraska Spine Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, fine folks of the good Corn Husker state and those who live abroad as well. I hope you had a good weekend, and I hope you have a great week. And I hope you have a good start to this week on this fine, wonderful, glorious Monday morning. Now, you might be looking at the shirt I'm wearing and being like, what is BB Strong? All right, so if you follow me on Facebook, you follow me on Twitter. My daughter, Trinity, who's 8 years old, her best friend was diagnosed with leukemia about a month ago. And I posted a couple times about her. Thank you for those who've donated to her GoFundMe page or those who've just sent kind messages, thoughts, and prayers. Very much appreciated. She'd been doing pretty good. Her last round of test results came back. Her numbers are low. And it's also getting to the point where she's very concerned about her hair falling out, where the hair is going to start falling out this week. So they've had a really rough week. They've been struggling. They've been having a hard time. So do me a favor. Keep Braxton Brown, BB, Braxton Brown strong. Keep Braxton, her dad Clint, the mom in your prayers, if you would. And if this is on Facebook, this is on Twitter, this is on YouTube, whatever the case may be, put a comment below this post, whether it's a video on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever this might be. I will be specifically looking through the comments because we visit Braxton once a week. We got to stay on the other side of the glass. She's inside her living room. My daughter, Trinity, is outside looking in. They're best friends. But I will make sure and share any comments that are posted below this video with her because they are always uplifting to her. So we appreciate that. Now, there are bigger things in this world than football. But let's chat a little bit of football, shall we? Because A.D. Bill Moose, head coach Scott Frost, have both talked about how it's very realistic this year that the Huskers could play and contend for the Big Ten West Championship, get into the Big Ten Championship game. So the question that several fans have posed to me, it's been a couple weeks, but I kind of went back, read through some questions. Is this realistic, Adam? Is this a realistic expectation to think that the Huskers could contend for a Big Ten West Championship and potentially get to the Big Ten Championship? After the past few seasons, sounds kind of crazy, but at some point, if we're going to turn it around, this time right here, right now is as good as any. So, here are my thoughts. Now, you look at the offensive line. The average Power 5 offensive line signing the past 3 years is about 6'5". The Huskers' average offensive line signing the past 3 years is 6'7". Okay, so they are potentially putting together, the biggest offensive line in the Big Ten. We'll see how they hit the weight room, how they develop, what their weight turns out to be. Now, they started 3 freshman offensive linemen versus Rutgers the last game of the season to end the 2020 football season. Turner Corcoran, Ethan Piper, and Bryce Benhart. They played very, very well. Over 300 yards rushing, 600 yards of total offense. I talked about that at the end of last week. I won't belabor that point. They're getting much better, much more depth. They got young talent. They got guys with experience. Obviously, a couple guys left, but they're getting much better depth on the O-line. They have 14 guys on scholarship and 2 walk-ons. Okay, and the 2 walk-ons, respectively, were at Iowa and Colorado State before Nebraska, and they were scholarship players there. Despite losing Brendan Hymas and Matt Farniok, Frost is very excited about the offensive line. He said, and I quote, "If there's one group that's going to make the biggest jump this season, it's that group," end quote. Now, moving on to the wide receivers. Scott Frost, when talking about the wide receivers, he has said that this is the most talented group of wide receivers he's had since he got here. He's going into year 4, ladies and gentlemen. No group's going to make a bigger jump this offseason than the offensive line. Never had a more talented group of wide receivers in this group right here, right now. Look at the quarterback position, It's not entirely clear who our quarterback's going to be. Could be Logan Smothers, could be Adrian Peterson, could be someone else. Right now, the front runner has to be Adrian Peterson. Adrian Martinez. Oh, my God. Adrian Peterson, the Oklahoma running back. My bad. I hit him too many times in college and the NFL. Adrian Martinez. Logan Smothers could be someone else in that quarterback room. If it is Adrian, it's his 4th year as a starter at the quarterback position. That's a lot of experience. He's still got a lot of talent, too. If it's someone else, we'll see what happens. But a lot of experience with the quarterback position. That's kind of big. You look at the tight ends. I've talked about these guys a million times since they got here. They're very talented. 6'8", Austin Allen, number 1 recruit in the state of Nebraska when he came out of high school. 6'7", Kurt Raftel. Plus, you got the uber confident, very talented 6'5", Thomas Fidoni. Time for them boys to step up. They got a lot of talent. Running back, the talented transfer from USC, and several in-house talented guys coming back as well. Who's going to step up? There's talent, people. Now the defense played well enough to win several games last year, and they have 9 returning starters on defense. Here's what it's going to come down to. Here are the 3 question marks for me. Number 1, that talent on offense. Who's going to step up and make plays? Number 2, how much better will the defense be with all that experience coming back? And number 3, will special teams ever actually be special? That's a gigantic question. Now, the question I posed at the beginning of the show, is it realistic for the Huskers to be in the conversation to contend for the Big Ten West Championship and play in the Big Ten Championship game? Some people might find that laughable. My answer is yes, it is realistic. But the question I have is it probable? The question I was asked by fans is it realistic? My question is it probable? I can't answer that. Let me know your thoughts, because that is up to the guys inside that locker room in that football building. I can't wait to see the answer. Throw the bones. Thanks again to our sponsor, Nebraska Spine Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, when it's your spine, you do not want to mess around, and experience matters. That's why you can trust the experts at Nebraska Spine Hospital, the region's only spine-specific hospital. They are the best at what they do.